So, when your best friend says you need to have a disclaimer in the beginning of your podcast because the lawyer in her is screaming, you do it. Here's my disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am not even an expert. I am you. I am bringing information to you as I see it. But don't take my advice. Make your own choices and make them good choices. On with the show.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about cannabis.
Community violation. Code Green Plant.
Thank you for being here. I'm kind of excited that you're here. So I wanted to open the show with, we had talked about custody issues, if you use cannabis for recreation or if you use cannabis for a medical situation, how it can affect your custody level. And I had remembered during that episode that it affected somebody that saw my video and they commented. So I pulled up that comment. I just wanted to show you a real life example of that happening now in 2023. So Amanda, she writes, ADHD, BPD, OCD, PTSD, scoliosis, spinal degeneration are just a few of the things I use my medication for. Unfortunately, I moved to a non-legal state with a narcissist ex, and apparently I'm a bad mom for doing so, and lost custody of my son to said narc ex, and I wonder if the move was the plan the whole time. There is a real life example. It's happening. It's happening all around us, and I think it's very unfair. You can't take somebody that uses it in one situation and then categorize somebody. Like, it's, you guys know my opinion. I don't have to get on my soapbox today. You know my opinion. But I did want to talk about cancel culture, which we are so living in right now. I always get a little bit nervous talking about things that can get other people really excited in a positive and negative way because, nobody wants to get canceled. It's happening all the time. Just look at like celebrities that it's happening to. I worry about that. I mean, of course, I feel like my opinion is the right opinion. I mean, don't we all? So we do live in America. And it's known for like freedom of speech the last time I checked. But you speak out of turn and the whole world can turn against you, especially if you're a public speaker. I'm like this micro person over here in the corners, speaking on cannabis, and not specifically towards me, but it's something that stays in my head. And there's a reason, because I have TikTok. I have my personal page, which is Christy Chanel. It happened to me about a year ago. I had a video on there that went viral. I went viral because I was talking about being a corporate manager and certain things that I think would help get you a raise and, things in that category. In that specific video, I decided to do a video on an exit interview. I spoke with the person. I said, do you want to do like a little video with me and talk about why you're leaving? We had already had a decent relationship, so it wasn't like I was HR. I wasn't doing it from an HR perspective. This was just like sharing information with other people, which I think is super important. And because I don't know everything, I need the people that experience things to speak for themselves. I don't need to be your mouthpiece. I just want to bring you to the forefront because I believe what you're saying should be shared. And that's kind of my philosophy on this podcast. I feel the same way. It's like, bring people in that experience this because I don't have that experience. So anyway, I did this. I put it out and it got like 331,000 views, a lot of comments, like I forget which, like online news place picked it up and they posted it and used the video and talked about the whole thing in the article. If you want me to bring up the article and read it for you guys, I can definitely do that. I can post it so you guys know where to find. Oh, it's on the Daily Dot. It's on the daily.com, daily.com. Yeah. Anyway, you just type in Christy Chanel daily dot and it will pop up. Anyway, so that's my video. And honestly, I'm an advocate for the employee. I mean, I'm a middle manager. I'm not like an executive. I'm not like a director at my corporate job. I'm a middle manager. I feel like my role is to protect the people that are on my team. And you can ask every single one of them. I have 9. You can ask each one of them if I do that for them. Somebody's got to speak for them. They just have to, and sometimes, all right, I'm getting off topic here. I need to go back into circle back to where I was. So anyway, I posted that video and I got some hate. I got a lot of hate. I got a lot of love. It was kind of back and forth. But when I posted the video, it was more about, tell us how we can be better. And then let's share that with everybody else. Maybe there's other owners listening. Maybe there's other CEOs listening or managers, directors listening. And then they're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to lose my employees. So I'm going to do A, B, and C instead of D, E, and F. So that was my purpose. If you're a business owner, you're really, really, typically, if it's a large company, you're really, really high up there. You're high up there. So you don't necessarily see the people that have their boots on the ground working for you. It's hard to be a part of every part of your organization. I think it should happen. I think that you should absolutely spend time in maybe a different department. Maybe once a month you go to a different one. I don't know. However you have to do it. I don't know. I just know I have a company now, and as it grows, because it will, the employees are going to be the most important thing to me. The most. The employees are going to be number one, and that's just how I feel, because I want them to know they're sitting there and they're working for me, and they are building something that is so important to me. They need to be the first one rewarded, period. I mean, call me crazy, because everybody you talk to is like, customers number one. Yeah, the product you put out is all about the customers. But when it comes to where you put your time and where you put your money, it needs to start with the employee. So back to my cancel culture discussion. I also had another video on Christy Chanel on TikTok, and I'm talking about quiet quitting. I thought it was a very average subject. I didn't think that it would spark any kind of feelings, passionate feelings about me saying, I don't think you should quiet quit. I think you should speak your mind. And it did get this one person way heated. She did a video on it. Then she put just went crazy in my comment section. So of course I respond. I'm like, what? This has never happened to me. Of course I'm going to defend myself. Let me respond. Well, you don't want to do that, because when you do that, they go harder. They're like, ooh, we got you. Now let's get her again. Well, she did. She posted 5 videos on me. And then, and me just saying, I'm sorry. I didn't, I don't, this is my opinion. I ended up blocking her from my page, and she would make other accounts to come in and watch my videos so that she could jump in and tell me how horrible I was. So I was like, all right, yeah, it happens. Whether it's provoked sometimes or not, it's happening out there. So I figured let's talk about some people from our past, celebrities that got cancel culture, because looking at it now with different fresh eyes in the world we live in, would we still cancel them? So I pulled up an article, and this is called 55 Celebrities People Think Have Been Unfairly Canceled. This is from December 23rd, 2022, so it's coming on a year. Number 1, Sinead O'Conner. Now, if you might be too young to know this, but Sinead O'Conner, she ripped up a picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live to protest child abuse in the church. She had a reason. She wasn't just a crazy person standing up there ripping up this picture. She was trying to shock you into hearing what's actually happening. Listen, I'm not going to get deep into this because it is way out of my element, but I bet now if we did a little bit of digging to see where she was actually coming from, because nobody asked. Okay, then we have Brendan Fraser. The dude spoke up about being sexually assaulted and was never heard from again until recently. He seems like such a good guy. I'm glad he's back in the spotlight. I don't know much about this. I don't know really anything about Brendan Fraser. I do know that he was up for some awards and people were standing up and applauding. I guess it was his big comeback. But I didn't realize it was due to him being sexually assaulted and then being canceled. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Number 3, all the women, and there is quite a list, who got blacklisted when Harvey Weinstein didn't get his way. Sit with that for a second. These women endured sexism, assault, and if they spoke up, they were going to get blacklisted from Hollywood. So the people that did got blacklisted. Well, we know where he ended up. So ladies, I know it doesn't take away the pain that you went through, but you never have to deal with him again. And I would like a list of those ladies, actually, because I want to see if they're back in society and are thriving. I would hope so. The Dixie Chicks. God, I love the Dixie Chicks. I really do. And her song, I'm Not Ready to Make Nice. Oh my God. Oh my God. It is such a good song. Like, it gives me chills because I know the reason she wrote it. I remember watching everything that happened. People were burning their records. I didn't even tell you why, but it was for opposing the Gulf War. Yeah, just speaking up. I think she said something about the president too at that time, Bush. She's in Texas. She was in a country genre. So, I don't even have to get into that. You already know what that means. And the backlash for opposing a war took her career. It took her entire career. How is that okay? Like, this is the land of the free for a reason. Number 6, Corey Feldman literally warned about child abuse in their business, Hollywood, and was speaking from experience and was shut down. And Barbara Walters said, "You're damaging the entire industry." That's how he was received by talking about his pain and what's happened to him in Hollywood. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but it's just it's so screwed up. Winona Ryder, she shoplifted a few things. She got shut out for quite a while after that. Glad she did. Yeah, but shoplifting, not the best thing to do, so I'm not gonna really get into that. Courtney Love for calling out Harvey Weinstein. There's one of them. Rebecca Black puts out bad song on YouTube, death threats. I didn't know she was getting death threats. I do remember the song, and I'm not saying it was a bad song. This is written here. I don't know who wrote this article, because they have an opinion too. And you know what? I respect that. Yoko Ono, she got so canceled because everybody thought she broke up the Beatles. Did anybody really know the full story? So here it says Paul McCartney has said multiple times that the Beatles broke up because John Lennon was difficult to work with, and not because of Yoko, but because of his inflated ego. Now, I don't know if he had an inflated ego, but I do know the female is typically the easiest one to make the scapegoat in the whole situation. So, of course, it's the woman's fault. Canceled her. Lovely. Katherine Heigl, another actress to be canceled. All she did was talk about how the conditions were when working on Grey's Anatomy, and she got blacklisted. Fiona Apple, I remember her music. She's got some good music. Got blacklisted for giving a true but somewhat edgy stance on Hollywood culture. Right, she can't have an opinion because she's not in Hollywood, living the life. She doesn't have a right to an opinion. Colin Kaepernick, well, I don't even need to read that. We all know why, because he took a knee. For his belief, he took a knee. When he took a knee, he opened everyone's mind to something maybe they weren't thinking of the day before. Another actress that was blacklisted was Mira Sorvino as an actor and then gone because Weinstein. Hope she gets more roles. Weinstein strikes again. Oh, the queen of all cancels. The queen. Janet Jackson. Janet freaking Jackson. Justin Timberlake ripped her little thing off of her shirt and the whole thing came off. And guess who didn't get canceled? Justin Timberlake. But Miss Jackson did. Not fair. Not fair. But I think he's getting his dues now with the Britney Spears memoir. It's not going so well for Mr. Timberlake. It's just not. It's just not. I had always been a fan of his. Always. Love his music. Just loved his dancing. Just loved him back then. And honestly, he could have done things differently back then. He could have done things differently. And he's paying the price for not doing that. I will just say, as he's being canceled today, that a lot of us in our lives, and I'm not saying what he did was okay. I'm saying a lot of us in our teens made mistakes. And we just didn't have all the cameras around to document it. But we've all made mistakes. You know, when he's ready to talk about it, he will, and we'll see what happens. Britney's forgiven him. She has. George Michael was canceled. A public bathroom may not be the best place to get freaky, but it was a consensual thing. Why did he get canceled for that? I'm sure there's a lot of freaky people. I'm sure. Like, don't they have like airplane? I think they call it something. Mile High. The Mile High Club. I think that's like in airplanes. Well, that's freaky, but we're not canceling anybody that does it. It's just so stupid. Oh, Hailey Bieber. Hailey Bieber got canceled, y'all. She did. She got canceled. You know, there's this thing about pitting women against each other and then choosing a side and canceling the other one. It's like a thing. I don't know how Hailey Bieber got Justin. I don't know why they got married. I don't know any of that. But I do know that she doesn't deserve to be canceled. It's none of our freaking business. It is none of our business why they're together. Like, whatever. Like, do you know how many... Check your neighbors, please. Just check your neighbors. I'm sure there's a story over there. You're going to cancel them? You're going to cancel them. Probably not. So why are you going to cancel her? Jealousy? She's absolutely fucking gorgeous. I'm just asking. Selena's absolutely fucking gorgeous too. And I'm sure the tide's going to swing eventually. It just is. Like, the more famous you become, the more cancel culture comes for your throat. I mean, Taylor Swift has had it come for her throat. 100%. She had to go away and leave and hide. We can talk about why, but I'm not going to. She came back out and now she's like a mega star, a billionaire. All you Taylor lovers, you don't think that tide is going to change again? Because that's what happens. It's ups and downs and ups and downs, and you've got to have a thick skin to deal with it. I'm just saying, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to put stuff out there and worry that it's going to be perceived incorrectly. That's never the goal. I'm sure these people didn't do these things on purpose. You know, if they had known the outcome, they would have never done it. So yeah, there's a little worry about the stuff I put out there. I try to be very thoughtful. I try to be considerate and only put out things that are helpful. But sometimes even the helpful things can make people angry, you know? It's like, well, that's not what you're supposed to do, you know? And then, rah! So I guess the bottom line is you can't please everybody, so try to please yourself. And as long as you feel good in your own skin, ignore the haters. That's what I would say. Yeah, ignore the haters. I also saw this thing about AI, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. It was saying that it can mimic your voice. It could mimic your outfit, your appearance, and act as you. How do we know some of the stars in the future, when things come out that are like on the edge of cancel culture, how do we even know it's going to be them? What if somebody's just like, I hate them, so let me make a fake AI and put it out? And that's totally freaky, because if they can do it to them, they can do it to you. They can do it to me. So this is maybe what Elon Musk was saying about we need to back off till we have protections in place, because it can get out of hand. So AI kind of freaks me out a little bit. What else do we got? Listen, I'm not salty, but I'm salty. I am not allowed to put ads out on Facebook. I'm not allowed. Like, no, they said, because it talks about cannabis, CBD products. CBD, not actual like full THC, like 10 milligram, like none of that. CBD. I am not allowed to advertise. What do I see yesterday when I am posting on Facebook and doing all that kind of stuff? But a Cheech and Chong gummy. I'm not lying. It was a commercial for a Cheech and Chong gummy. How is that fair? How is that fair? It pisses me off. It's like I see all these people that have all of this money and they're able to get their ads out. How is that not discriminatory? How come they can and I can't? I just want to know. Can somebody help me out here? Why is it okay for them and not okay for me? I'm so confused. And I'll have you know, just last week, I have been told that 5 of my video shorts on Instagram, Simply Vibin' LLC, are not able to be shown to people because it doesn't fit the standards. Man, this is an uphill fight. It's just a crapshoot every day. I never know what's going to hit. I never know what's going to be taken down. I just don't know. And for that reason, I'm going to continue to send you to my website. If you want to stay in tune with us and what we're doing and just show a little bit of support, I would love for you to go there and make an account. I'll send you an email. I'll let you know what's happening. We have to congratulate Ohio for making them a legalized state. Congratulations, Ohio, kicking ass, even though I know everybody's freaking out and trying to fight you for doing that, but the people spoke. Ohio, you're awesome. Ohio votes to legalize recreational marijuana in landmark decision. I'm jealous. I'm here in Texas. I'm so jealous. Women from all over Minnesota came together on Friday to network for Minnesota's newest booming cannabis industry. Woo, woo. Oh, I love that. Kicking ass, women. I love that. I wish they'd have one in Texas. If you know one, let me know, because I'm constantly looking for a place to network here in Texas. If you're a business out there, if you're a woman-owned business out there, and you feel like we can help each other, I'm all ears. I am all ears. I will talk about it here. I will have you on the show. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you, even if you're not in the cannabis world. I mean, yeah, I want to talk to people in this industry as well, but I want to talk to people just in general. So if you have a cause or you have a business or you think that you can help me and I can help you, reach out. I had such a good conversation today filming for my Wednesday episode with Phoebe. It was a great conversation on pets and CBD, and it was so good, and I would love to do it again. So if there's a topic that you want to talk to me about, reach out and let's talk, man. I'm all for it. If there's any way that you would be able to support the show, if you scroll down in the show notes at the bottom, it says support the show. You can click that link and it will give you different dollar denominations. So as little as $3. All of that money goes right back into the podcast. So if you want to support the show, it would be appreciated, and we'll keep pumping out the content for you. Hit the like and subscribe button. Write a comment. Go follow us. Oh, I was going to spotlight a different social media area each time. Well, I've done TikTok, I've done YouTube, so today I'm doing Instagram. On Instagram, you can find us at Simply Vibin LLC and follow us there. Every morning I wake up, I look through the news, and I take it and I put it on my Instagram story every single morning. Follow me on Instagram. I'd love to have you there. And then if you do follow me, throw me a message and say, I heard you on the podcast and I came to see your Instagram page. Do you know how good I would feel if you did that? That means you're hearing me, and that's so important. So again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to talking to you next Wednesday and Friday. See you then. Bye now.
This episode of Code Green Plant was sponsored by Simply Vibin LLC. Code Green Plant is a Simply Vibin production hosted by Christy Chanel, with music produced and mixed by Timothy McGee. This podcast is not intended to be used for medical advice and is solely the opinion of the host. Please consult your physician. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Want more? Visit www.simplyvibin.com. We appreciate you simply vibing with us.
Code Green Plant.